Working on right now? What do you got going on? What do you got in the pipeline?
Yeah, right now, I'm wholesaling just a bunch of deals. I got 4 deals closing this month actually that I assigned, so I'm pretty excited about that. And that's basically it, man. I'm just going hard on the wholesaling, and then on the side, I do a little bit of like trading and stuff like that. But that's kind of what I got going on here.
Well, let's talk about the wholesales because I've never done a wholesale before, but I know like honestly, and I watch Kang and Show Me the Money and some of that stuff. He kills it, and honestly, I think that's for some of your viewers as well too. That's an awesome place to get started because look, you can do it with no money and no liability, and a lot of people don't realize that. If you're assigning things and you have the right contracts written, it's a great way to get started in the game and get some cash flow so that you can eventually go in and start buying and owning rental property yourself as well too, right?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
what's made you successful in wholesaling? What have been your biggest keys, or what have been your biggest mistakes that led to success?
Yeah, so at first I kind of didn't really know how to talk to the seller. Like I didn't know to say like, I couldn't decide, do I say, hey, I'm a wholesaler, I'm trying to find a buyer for your property kind of thing? Or do I go in and say I'm an investor? I basically didn't really know how to negotiate too well. I'm coming from a construction background, man, so I knew how to swing a hammer, not talk to people. But over a period of time of getting a lot of phone calls and just building rapport, watching Kong videos and writing down how he talks to people and basically going from there, that's been a huge key in helping me is definitely talking to the seller and negotiation. Recently, one of my buyers, he likes me and him have a pretty good relationship. And recently, I've been having him help me negotiate because he's better than me than it. So I help him. He gets the price down a lot more than I'm able to get it down, and I just give him a cut kind of thing. So
Okay, nice.
so if you can't, I read in one, I can't remember what book it was, but if you can't do a couple things and you're not good at, like let's say your weaknesses, you don't want to like build like strengthen them. You can just hire that out if you have the money, kind of thing. But in wholesaling, like
Well, even the commission split, right? Like you said, you're giving a split to the guy. You don't necessarily need the money because in wholesaling, that's the beautiful part about it. You don't need the money to get started, but if you can get a cut on the commission and get somebody motivated or somebody you can communicate that well, you're going to be able to offer value in that way, right? So
sure, yeah, that's huge. It's definitely a good thing. And then yeah, so for getting into it, like getting started with no money, like little money, it is good because you can put $500 to $1,000. I think I put $100 down on a property once, right? And that's but I knew that I kind of had a relationship with the guy, so I knew him. But yeah, that's basically it. At the beginning, I was only spending money on gas for driving around, dropping off flyers, and basically just putting money on small deposits. And then I got into the postcards eventually and kind of graduated. And this year, man, I sent out one postcard route, and I got one deal out of it. Actually, my only phone call, believe it or not. I had sent out 2,500 letters, no calls, one call, ended up getting a deal. So if you don't get, and it took like 3 weeks after that I sent out the mail. So don't just get discouraged if you don't get calls right away. It's a process thing, and it's building relationships for the future too. Because people might not want to sell today, but they might want to sell tomorrow or a week from now, a month, next season, right?
so where do you get your most retention from? What's been the best success for you so far?